Well, good afternoon, juniors and parents of juniors at Strong Rock Christian School. I'm Dr. Kerce. Thank you for joining us today as we are going to talk about the junior year and all of the important things that you need to know to have the best junior year ever. So let's jump right into it here. What I'm going to be going through does follow the materials that I've already sent out via email. So if you're watching this, hopefully you have those materials and we will go through those things together. Of course, if you have some questions that come up, please feel free to email me later on and I would be more than happy to answer all of your questions. So to begin with, I want to start with a quote from Winston Churchill that I think fits in well with the junior year. To each there comes in their lifetime a special moment when they are figuratively tapped on the shoulder and offered the chance to do a very special thing, unique to them and fitted to their talents. What a tragedy if that moment finds them unprepared or unqualified for that which could have been their finest hour. Your junior year can really be your finest hour. Your junior year is that last chance you have to really make an impression on colleges as you're getting ready to, this time next year, send out applications, send out official transcripts. And so the last thing that those colleges are going to see is your junior year. The grades that went into your junior year, the test scores, the classes you took, all of that stuff. This is your last chance to make that impression. So this can be your finest hour. Let's talk about how we can make it our finest hour. The importance of your junior year, well, kind of think of it in a sports way. Football game, you have the first half, then you go in for halftime. Great coaches win games in halftime. They evaluate their game plan, they make adjustments, and they come out with a great plan for the second half. And that's right where you are right now. You've had your first 2 years. It's a great time to evaluate and see, what things have gone well, what things do we need to evaluate and change and make a different plan and come out with a new game plan ready to attack these last 2 years of high school. Again, like I said, you're finishing your first 6 semesters at the end of this year. And that's what those colleges are going to see. That's going to be the last part of that snapshot that they're going to see of you. This is your time to make your mark. Maybe get involved in something new. Take on a new leadership role. And preparation that you put into this year is only going to make next year as a senior more enjoyable, less stressful. And so it's very important that you do a great job this year because it's just going to carry over and make next year that much better. Some goals for setting in your junior year, and juniors, I can't set goals for you. Your parents can't set goals for you. You need to set your goals. What are your targets that you want to strive for? I want to give you a few examples to maybe help you think through this a little bit, but I can't be the one who sets a goal for you. Your parents can't do that. Your coaches can't do that. You need to be the one that's setting those goals for yourself. But here's a few examples. One, be a trailblazer. In other words, be a leader. Set out on something new. Don't just be a follower and be one of the crowd. Make a goal to have the best academic year that you've ever had. Now, I know here at Strong Rock, 11th grade has that reputation of being a very tough year, and it can be. But that doesn't mean that it still can't be your best academic year. Maybe you need to evaluate what you've done academically in the past and decide if you might need to do some things a little differently. You're taking 2 or 3 AP classes this year. What are you going to need to do a little bit differently to make sure you still get those results that you want? Maybe this is a good year to try something new. Try a new sport. Try a new club. Maybe even start a club. And then one last example as a possible goal. don't waste time. If you need to make those changes, go ahead and start putting a plan together. If you're not sure where to go or what to do, how to put together a plan like that, come in and see me. Maybe you want to see one of your teachers or a coach. But if you need help with formulating that plan and setting those new goals, make sure that you take advantage of the resources that are right here. A teacher, a coach, myself. Let us help you. We want to help you. We want to help you succeed. But bottom line, these goals do need to be yours, and you need to take ownership of them. Here are some keys for this fall semester. Number one, today is actually Friday. It's the third week of school. Hopefully you've already gotten off to a great start. We're seeing homework assignments, some quizzes, your first tests coming in. Hopefully you've gotten off to a really good start in all of those types of assignments. And it's important to not just get off to a fast start and then coast, but to continue to work hard, continue to put out that good effort so that you can stay on top the entire year. Again, just to reinforce something I said just a minute ago, get involved, participate, be an active member here. Don't just be somebody sitting on the sidelines. October 14th, that's an important date. That's when all of our students from 9th grade through 11th grade will take the PSAT. It's especially important in 11th grade because it's your 11th grade score that is used for evaluation in the National Merit Scholarship Program. So how well you do in 11th grade can have a big impact on your future and the opportunities that being named a National Merit Scholar can bring with it. I would encourage you to plan on taking your SAT and ACT, possibly this semester. Maybe that's something you want to plan for in the spring. The way I usually recommend thinking about that as far as when should I take the SAT or ACT, think of where you are in math. If you're an 11th grade student and you're taking pre-calculus, well, you've already covered Algebra 2, and Algebra 2 is the math level that these tests cover in their math sections. I would recommend go ahead and take the test this semester. Now, if you're a junior and you're in Algebra 2 now, it might not be a bad idea to put that off until the springtime, so you just had a chance to cover more of that Algebra 2 content. I would also definitely recommend that this semester you take full advantage of the opportunities to make those college connections. October 8th is when we will have our college fair here on campus. All of our 9th through 12th grade students will participate in our college fair. We also have college visits that we call CROC meetings, where college admission representatives come and we take time in our day to have a meeting with students who have signed up for those meetings. In fact, right now in the hallway I have 5 CROC meeting sign-up sheets. All you have to do is when you see those sign-up sheets in the hallway, sign up, make a note of the date and the time and the location, and make that as, think of that as an appointment. You've set that appointment, you make sure you follow up and attend that meeting. If something comes up and you've signed up for a meeting, but you really need to be in class that day, you've got a test, or it's really important that you get the notes that day or something like that that prevents you from coming to the meeting, always come and see me afterwards. They always will leave extra materials when the representative leaves, and so I always have a few extra handouts to give to students who didn't make it to the meeting. But it's a very good opportunity to make that connection and be able to talk with that college admissions rep. Even if it's a college you may not really be interested in, it's a great opportunity to just practice your skills of conversing with a college admissions rep and learning the types of questions that were good questions to ask them. And who knows, you might find out that you really do like that college, or maybe there's a particular program or activity that college offers that you think, wow, that's a great idea, and you want to look for that type of thing at a college you might be more interested in. But great chance to meet those college reps at the CROC meetings. I would also say plan on visiting colleges. Now, throughout the course of the year, I'll probably take some trips to colleges and take students with me, and if possible, maybe you can go on one of those trips. But don't wait on me. During breaks, fall break, winter break, spring break, if you can plan visits to colleges, that is great. A lot of colleges will have some type of a preview days weekend or something like that that the campus is open for visitors. Great opportunity to go and check out the colleges. And I would strongly recommend that for everybody. In the spring, let's jump on after Christmas. Come back in January. What do we need to be looking for in the spring semester? Well, some of you may be taking the SAT or ACT this semester, and that's great. If not, definitely want to be doing it in the spring. I usually recommend take both tests at least once. Even with the new format of the SAT coming out, I think while maybe there's not going to be as much difference in those two tests as there's been in the past, there's still going to be a difference. And I think there's still going to be those students who are a little bit more ACT, and there's going to be students who are a little more SAT. So I would recommend taking both, and if there's one of the tests that just feels better for you, go ahead and plan on taking it a second time. Again, college visits. You'll have more opportunity in the spring, either during a break week where you can schedule visits on your own, or maybe during mini-mester. The last few years of mini-mester, I've led college tour series trip. Maybe that could be something you'd want to be a part of in mini-mester. Also in your spring semester, in your English class, regardless of whether you're college prep, honors, or AP language, all of our 11th grade English classes will do a college research project. Great opportunity to research the colleges and just about every aspect of them, from the admissions process, programs of study that they offer, financial aid opportunities, you name it. And great opportunity. It kind of falls into that category of preparation. You do well on this project, the better you do on it, the better it's going to help you out for the future. It's going to relieve some of that stress and anxiety leading into your senior year, and it's just going to all around benefit you greatly. The more effort and the better effort you put into this project in the spring semester. Stay focused academically. Don't let the semester, the third 9 weeks, fourth 9 weeks start to slide. Maintain that strong start and keep going. Stay motivated. Maintain those goals, and keep working hard and putting out the effort necessary to reach those goals. If you're an athlete and you have dreams of competing at the NCAA Division I or Division II level, or maybe at an NAIA college, you will want to register with those organizations so that they can evaluate you and deem you athletically eligible to compete in college. So end of your junior year is a great time to go ahead and take care of that NCAA or NAIA registration. And last thing for the spring is make your plans for the summer. Again, some of you might be able to make visits to college during the summer. If maybe on a family vacation, you can plan stopping at 2 or 3 colleges along the way. That would be a great thing to do. Some of you might be able to attend camps at colleges. Colleges have all kinds of camps nowadays, from academic camps to STEM camps to athletic camps to fine arts camps, all kinds of camps. And that's a great time to get onto the campus and get a feel for it and just see if that's going to be a good fit for you. Now, looking even further down the road, this time next year, you are a senior at Strong Rock Christian School. And here are some things that hopefully you will have in place when you get back here August a year from now and you are a senior. Number one, try to have your list of colleges that you're really focusing in on. down to maybe 3 up to about maybe 5 or 6 is what I usually recommend. If you want to break that down even more specifically, I would say maybe 1 or 2 colleges up at the high end. These are your shoot for the stars, dream colleges. In the middle, you have a few colleges that you are going to be a good fit at because you've researched them. You've seen their mid 50% range as far as their accepted students' GPAs and test scores and that type of information, and you fit right into that middle 50%, you're maybe even on the high end of that. And so those colleges, you think, okay, these pretty good chance I'm going to be able to get accepted here because I fall real closely in line with the kind of students they typically accept. And then, just in a worst case scenario, it's not a bad idea to have a fallback plan and maybe have that one college that is going to be your safety net. So hopefully that won't be something you would have to rely on, but it's always nice to have that in place as well. I would recommend having letters of recommendation ready. That is part of the college research project that you'll do in your English class. But if you are applying to a college that does require a certain number of letters of recommendation, it's going to be nice if you already have those in place and don't have to scurry around right when you get back to school to try to get some teacher recommendations. Excuse me. It's also going to be a good idea to evaluate whether or not you need to continue taking the SAT or ACT. Some of you might find out that you've already taken those tests once or twice, maybe 3 times as a junior, and you have scores that you're happy with and you really don't need to take it anymore. And if so, that's fine. Others might say, you know what, I need to take this another time or 2. Something that I will always look at to help me guide a student if they ask me that question, do I need to take the SAT or ACT over again, is I would say if you're in a situation where maybe a college has said, hey, you've got this score, but we need it just maybe a point or 2 higher, go ahead and take it again, especially if that's a college that you would really like to attend. If your score is that close, chances are a little more preparation, you're going to be able to increase that score. Same type of thing with scholarships. A lot of colleges will publish their scholarship tiers, and it's very clear cut. A score of 25 is going to equate this much money. A score of 27 is going to equate this much, and that type of a thing. So if you are right close to that next threshold, I would say go ahead and take that test again. See if you can't bump it up a couple of more points, get up to that next scholarship threshold. That's always, I think, a wise thing to give it a chance. And again, keep investigating colleges, even though you might have your head pretty well on straight, and these are the colleges that I'm really focused on, really want to attend. You never know. There may be a college that you stumble across and you had never heard of it before, but the more you investigate, the more you research about the school, you're thinking, wow, this is a great place. I would really love to be there. So even though you think you have your head on straight and know where you would like to go, it doesn't hurt to keep looking. Just, if nothing more, a comparison tool. But you never know. You might end up stumbling across that school that's going to be an even better fit for you. And the last thing, as much as possible, I'd say go ahead and get your applications ready. I have seen some schools that open their applications as early as May, and some, throughout the summer, June, July. Just about every school will have their applications ready and online by first part of August. But if there's anything that you can do ahead of time, again, it goes back to that preparation is going to relieve the stress and anxiety next year. So whatever you can do ahead of time and get the ball rolling, that's just going to take off that load that you have to take on come next fall. Now, I want to mention very quickly, just so that everybody's clear and understands, there is a difference in the Strong Rock grade point average and the Hope grade point average. There's basically three things that differentiate those grade point averages. And when you get a transcript from me, one of the pieces of information on that transcript is going to be your Strong Rock GPA. And that's what we would call a cumulative GPA, a cumulative weighted GPA, even to get more precise. That means that weighting for honors classes, AP classes, dual enrollment classes have been added in. And it also means, from the cumulative sense, every class that you have taken from 9th grade through the time you graduate. And to differentiate that from a Hope GPA that's calculated by the Georgia Student Finance Commission, there's three things. One, there's a little bit of a different grade scale. Now, we're going to go through some additional information to go pages in just a few minutes, and some of this information that I'm going to mention right now about those differences is spelled out specifically on these pages, so we'll get to that in a minute. But just note, there is a different grade scale that's used. The courses that are included is different. Georgia Student Finance Commission will only use your core area courses, so courses in English, math, science, social studies, and foreign language. So your courses that you take here, like your Bible courses, band, chorus, strength training, health and life fitness, aviation, computer applications, art, any of those types of courses that don't fall into those core areas will not be calculated by Georgia Student Finance Commission, but they are calculated in your cumulative weighted Strong Rock GPA. And the third way they're different is the weighting system itself. I mentioned a second ago, we weight an honors course with half a point, an AP course with a full point, and a dual enrollment course with half a point each semester. Georgia Student Finance Commission does not weight honors courses. They weight an AP course with half a point each semester, and they weight a dual enrollment course with half a point each semester. So those three things: the grade scale, the courses included, and the weighting system. All of that to say, your Hope GPA is typically going to be at least about a half a point lower than the GPA that will show up on your Strong Rock transcript. Okay. Now, let's go on to the additional information to go packet. Again, this was one of the things that I emailed out to parents after our junior meeting last night. So very quickly, just want to run through these and then we will be done today. The first page, front and back, actually gives you the Hope and Zell Miller payouts for this current school year. So the 2015-2016 students who are in college who earned the Hope or the Zell Miller, this will show what those payouts are. And also for students who might be attending a private college in state, it will show how much is being paid out per semester for those to those private institutions, for those Hope eligible or Zell Miller eligible students. The next page is how to figure a GPA. And again, I just kind of walk you through how that process is done. Recalculating your GPA is something that is done at the end of every semester once your semester grades are finalized and updated in our RenWeb system. We will run an update that will provide your up-to-date GPA, class rank, and all of that information. Next page is titled Websites You Might Find Useful. There's a lot of websites I've listed here. Some deal with financial aid matters, some from a College Board, things like SAT information or AP information. The ACT website's listed on here. There's a number of military websites on here. Excuse me. Also, athletic eligibility, NCAA, NAI, which I mentioned earlier. Also, there's information. I've got a website for the National Junior College Athletic Association for students who might be interested in participating in athletics at a junior college level. So the next page is a sample transcript, so you can take a look at that. And I think most of you by now have probably seen a transcript and you know what it looks like there from Strong Rock. Excuse me. The next 4 pages are actually straight out of our family handbook. Information on the academic guidelines for Strong Rock Christian School, graduation requirements, information about the pins of excellence that a senior could earn and have at graduation. The grade scales that we talked about a few minutes ago. It's on actually page 33, so you can take a look at that. Then we go on to honors graduate information and valedictorian, salutatorian requirements. Okay, and again, that comes right out of our student handbook. The next page is a sample student resume. If you haven't already started a student resume, I would strongly encourage you to do that. It's a great tool that as you're starting to put together your college applications or applications for a scholarship, they might ask you about activities and things you've been involved in throughout your high school years. And this is just a great tool to help you keep a running tab of all these different events and things you participated in, awards you've earned, and all that kind of thing. You could also use it when you go and meet a college admissions representative. Take them a copy of your student resume, something you could leave with them. That's always a good thing to do. The next page is titled Tips for 30-Second Elevator Speech. Basically, an elevator speech, the whole idea behind it is to give you an opportunity and a way to kind of break the ice. When you were talking to a college admissions representative, let's say at a college fair, it can be a little bit of an awkward situation. You approach the table. Hey, what do you say first? Do you wait for them to say something first? Well, if you have a scripted out introduction that's asking a question about that college or a particular program about that college, it just really helps to break the ice. And then that college admissions rep is just going to start running with it. Once they hear your question, they're going to just start addressing that, and then the dialogue can flow much more freely and naturally. So just a little bit of an icebreaker, but here's a couple of examples that Mike could help you with putting something together so that when you go and meet those college reps, you'll have something already in mind to say to them to kind of break the ice and get that dialogue flowing nicely. The next 3 pages, these are just some ideas. You definitely don't have to use this format. You could use something as simple as just a little spiral notepad and write notes down. You could use an app on your phone. But I'd strongly encourage you to have some way and some method to take notes when you go and visit colleges. When you go to a college fair and have some way to record your thoughts. If you wait for 2 or 3 weeks and then try to think back, you're gonna probably forget a lot of those details. But you're on a college campus, you're walking through a dormitory, and something clicks into your head. Hey, you need to be able to write that down. Keep that thought there, and be able to record it, and so you can recall it later. And then when you're going back and you're kind of reviewing over your visits and the colleges, it's going to be a whole lot easier to remember what are the things you liked, what are the things you didn't like, because you're going to have it recorded somewhere. It's either a notepad, a notebook, something on your phone, but you need something, somehow, some way to record those thoughts. The next about 3 or 4 pages all have to do with financial aid, and basically they are checklists to help you walk through that process of financial aid. A lot of good resources out there to help you with the financial aid process and searching for scholarships. And of course, the college financial aid office is going to be a great resource for